Why can't I stay off my phone? Why can't I get up early when I say I'm going to? Why can't I study when I say I'm going to? Why can't I eat healthy? Why can't I go to the gym? Research suggests that 40% of our day is made up by habits. They play a crucial part in our self-development and are basically stepping stones to shape our lives. Hello everybody, if you're new here, my name's Amelia and I am a second year medical student. I like to make videos about medical school and just general self-development study videos, you know, that kind of gist. So today I thought I'd make a video on habit building and exactly what you need to do to be able to build habits that are going to stick. So if that's something you're interested in, please stick around to watch. So I think the perfect place to start is understanding the process of actually habit building. How is this even done? If you understand exactly what is going through your head when you're forming a habit, it's going to make it much easier to either make or break a habit that you are trying to form. So the process of developing a habit can be split up into 4 stages. Step 1 is the cue. This is the part that triggers your brain to initiate a behaviour. This is because your brain predicts a reward from this cue. Number 2 is the craving. So the cue naturally leads to the craving. This is your motivational force to get up and go. This is your drive. This is what is going to push you to initiate the behaviour to act on the cue. If you're not wanting to make a cup of tea, you're not going to do it. If you've not got the motivation to make a cup of tea, if you've not got the desire to make a cup of tea, you're not going to go and make one. So this is the really important bit, and we are going to come back to this later. Number 3 is the response. This is the actual habit you form. It can be physical, it can be mental, it could be thoughts, but this is the habit forming. So you can kind of see where this is going. And number 4 is the reward. So your response leads to a reward, and this is the formation of your habit cycle. A reward must be 2 things. It must satisfy our craving, and it must teach us that the habit is worth remembering, aka you are going to get something at the end of it that you desire. So all 4 stages are vital in the formation of a habit, and without one of these stages you are not going to form a habit. And this could be a positive thing or a negative thing depending on whether you are wanting to form a habit or if you're not wanting to form a habit, but all 4 stages are vital. What do I mean by this? So if you have no cue, you have no start to this cycle. If you have no craving, you have no motivation. If you have no reward, this whole thing is not worth remembering in the first place. And this is a really important concept in the making/breaking of habits. This is exactly what you need to utilize when you are making or breaking habits. This sounds like a whole lot of science that can't be put into practice right now, but I'm going to talk you through how you put this entire concept into practice. So where exactly do you go from here? This brings me on to the 4 laws of behaviour change. Habits are really difficult to form when you don't have the right tools to build them. Like anything in life, if you don't have the equipment to do it, you're not going to achieve it. But if you have everything you need, it makes it much more attainable. And that is the exact same concept with habit building. So I am about to give you the tools that you need to make a habit. So we need to go back to our habit development and slot some things in. So you have your initial cue that we discussed earlier. So how do you make a cue more attainable in your brain? You need to make it obvious. Our brains are wired in a way where we don't want to do anything difficult. That is just natural human nature. That is how we are wired. That is how we are built. And we are not going to go out of our way to do something difficult when there's something easy right in front of us. We're not going to go out of our way to make a new habit when we've already got one formed already. We've already got a habit built. Why would we go out of our way to build another one because that is more difficult? So you need to make this process as easy as possible. This can be done in 2 ways. The first one is habit stacking, and this is where you pair an old habit with a new habit. So as soon as you participate in the old habit, you link that with the new habit. It makes it more obvious. It removes the work of having to think about it and having to plan it, and it removes the hard work because you're linking it with something that is already there, something that you've already got the foundations for. This could be something as simple as when you turn your laptop on in the morning, you make your to-do list at the same time. Number 2 is setting up your environment for good habits. I'm sure a lot of people do this already. For example, if you're wanting to start going on a run every morning, put your clothes out, put your running clothes out ready for you to go on this run. It removes the obstacles. Removing any obstacles that you may face to build this habit is going to set you in good stead to get this habit cycle started. This brings us on to step number 2 of the cycle, and that's where law number 2 comes in, to make it attractive. This can also be done in 2 ways. Way number 1 is temptation bundling, and this is very similar to habit stacking, where you pair two things, one existing and one new. You take something that you crave that is pre-existing and pair it with something that you are wanting to implement. Pair it with the action that you are wanting to implement. But the vital part of this is you have to do the new action first. So it acts as kind of a reward. So you do the thing that you're trying to implement first, and then you do the thing that you're craving after. You're craving a cup of tea, but you go and you run first, so that you know when you get back from your run, you can have your cup of tea. And number 2 to this part is to make the desired habit the norm. You can make something attractive by making something seem more normal. Humans crave safety and stability, and this can be achieved by making something more normal. It is instantly going to be more attractive in your head. For example, if you are wanting to start running, we'll still go with the theme of running. If you're wanting to start running, join a running club. Surround yourself with people who are also running, and therefore that behaviour is much more normal and it is therefore much more attractive. So the third step is the response, and this is where law number 3 comes in, to make it easy. Although earlier on in the video we said motivation is what takes us from the craving to the response step of the cycle, however, humans are actually wired to conserve energy. So if you can conserve energy from this step, you are much more likely to take that route, and that's why it's said that we usually try to take the easy way out. So why not make this step easy? Things like priming your environment to actually make it easier to complete the habit you're trying to build than it is to complete your normal habit will subconsciously encourage you to participate in the habit that you're trying to build, because it's easier, and as humans we try to conserve energy and take the easy way out. Also things like the 2-minute rule, which is basically starting off on a small scale. So sometimes breaking down our goal makes it seem much more achievable, and it actually makes us want to try and work towards it a bit more because it seems more achievable. So breaking up your goal into small little tiny achievable pieces is going to encourage you to participate in the behaviours, because it seems more achievable in the small little sections than it does in the big lump goal that seems so unachievable in the moment. Number 4, the bit that we've all been working for, the completion of our habit formation, is the reward, and we can change this by the 4th final law, which is to make it satisfying. Humans are primed for immediate satisfaction. However, often the goal that we are working towards does not give us instant satisfaction. Like if you are wanting to run and still continue with the running theme, you're wanting to get in shape, for example, that's not going to happen overnight. So you need to find a way to give yourself instant satisfaction after you complete the behaviour. You need to find a way to make this behaviour, make this habit that you're trying to form satisfying until you reach your goal. This can be done by giving yourself an immediate reward to positively reinforce the behaviour that you are trying to build, to positively reinforce the habit that you're trying to build. However, this reward needs to be immediate, otherwise your brain is not going to link the two and there's not going to be any habit formation. Second thing is to use a habit tracker and to record your progress. Sometimes visual records of progress is enough of a reward to keep us going, to keep us working towards the end goal which we're trying to meet, and it does give that satisfaction that we are all craving. Third and final way to complete this habit cycle could be to make a habit contract. Often when we have somebody to hold us accountable, we are much more likely to follow through. And why is that? That is because there's repercussions. When we are doing something on our own, nobody knows you've not gone for that run this morning, and if nobody knows, then there's no consequences. Make yourself a habit contract. Get a running buddy who you have to meet in the morning, so you've got somebody relying on you, you've got somebody holding you accountable, and it's much more likely to make you complete your habit. So that is the steps behind making a habit. You could be asking, how do I break a habit? You simply flip it. For your response, make it difficult, and for your reward, make it unattractive. That is exactly how the steps behind breaking a habit, and it's basically the opposite of what we spoke about earlier. So that is the science behind making and breaking habits. If you're not able to make or break or form or whatever you're trying to do with your habit building, then that is because you're not completing one of these steps properly. If you complete all these steps, you will make a habit. And just remember, habits don't happen overnight. Rome wasn't built in a day. You need to keep going, keep holding yourself accountable, keep holding other people accountable, and I wish you all the best of luck. This is a concept that can be literally applied to absolutely anything. It could be applied to your fitness, to your studies, to your work, to your finances, to your, I don't know, life, just to life. So I hope it has helped you in some way, shape or form. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you have enjoyed this video, I'd really love it if you would like and comment down below and subscribe to my channel. Thank you once again, and I'll see you in the next one. You're chilling in the rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you